right, so hey people of God, this is Rashana B back with On My Way Up movement. All right guys, I just wanted to say, you know, being a chosen one, you often deal with a lot of rejection, a lot of dislike, a lot of hate, a lot of jealousy, a lot of envy. But I want you to understand that this is by design God's way for you, okay? Because the chosen one is almost like a pioneer, the first to do something, you know what I mean? And you have to have a very strong and tough and resilient spirit to be successful in whatever purpose God has designed you as a chosen one to accomplish, right? And if you're sensitive, and if you're the type of person that will base, you know, your passion or just your fortitude or your desires on the basis of how people think and feel about you, you will be very unsuccessful. In fact, it will weaken you. I was thinking about, in reference to King Saul, the Bible says that King Saul was the kind of king that he cared more about what the people thought about him than anybody else. And this would result in the Spirit of God leaving him. He would eventually be just disenthroned or dethroned or disenthroned, or however you want to put that. Basically, his throne will be taken from him, and it would be given to a king who was after God's own heart, meaning that he was not the kind of person or the kind of king that cared about what people thought. I mean, in a way that he did, but when it all ultimately boiled down to what God wanted him to do, what was pleasing and acceptable to God, and he reigned for 40 years with the Spirit of God with him the whole time, even when, you know, he committed a heinous sin, or a couple of them, if you will. But anyway, I don't want to digress. So as a chosen one, you're being buffed, you're being built to be able to sustain even through rejection, hate, envy, and jealousy. So the thing about it is, people of God, not only is it to build you up, strengthen you, and give you a certain confidence. I don't want to say arrogance, but a certain confidence, you know, to where you can keep moving, keep pressing, keep pushing, keep moving forward, keep doing what it is that you were called to do despite all the adversaries and all the adversity around you, right? Don't think that it is always the enemy coming for you. Don't think that it is always something wrong with you. That is in fact what the enemy wants you to think when the spirit of rejection or when hate and jealousy seems to be following you. He wants you to question yourself, doubt yourself. I remember when I remember before I found out who I was in God and why I was attracting this, that, and the other as far as jealousy and hate, I questioned myself, and I thought something was wrong with me. And it was times in my life that I tried to minimize myself, quiet myself, bite my tongue, because, you know, I just felt like maybe I was too much of this or too much of that. But now that God has revealed to me what is going on, it makes perfect sense, you know. And that's the good part of getting on the other side of that mountain of adversity and just coming into, or the power to, you know, is that everything starts to make sense. You know, the hate, the jealousy, it is to buff you. It is to prime you. It is to build you up. It is to strengthen you. It is also to remove things from your character. You know, it is also to build you up and make you a better person, or a stronger, Christ-like believer, you know, a truth seeker. So don't take it necessarily personal, okay? This is a part of the process. Trust the process, okay? Trust the fact that people are hating on you and under satanic agency, because God is allowing them to, because you need that, so that you don't become a person who wants to be the people's champ. You are a person who is okay with the hate, you're okay with the jealousy, you're okay with the envy. You can smile at it, keep it pressing, not take it personal, and continue to be successful in the purpose and the mission of God. So y'all have a blessed one. I want y'all to refer back to, I think, 1 Samuel, the book of 1 Samuel, the kind of king, 1st and 2nd Samuel, the kind of king that David was, and the kind of king that King Saul was. King Saul was the people's champ. He was unable to withstand adversity and people hating on him and jealousy and envy, and instead he would fold and adhere to the desires of the people. David was not like that. And you can clearly see the differences in their life. Although they were both imperfect men, although David did commit the things that he committed, you know, as far as the sins of adultery and murder, the Spirit of God never left him, okay? God's presence was still with him, okay? And he reigned for 40 years as a very successful king, and the people loved David. That's the funny part. Although he was not a people's champ, although he was not the person who adhered to the desires of people, the people respected, adored, and loved him more than the man, King Saul, who did adhere to the hate and the jealousy, who did minimize, quiet himself, and did do the things that the people wanted him to do. So y'all just think about that. Keep walking in strength. Keep walking in purpose. Keeping your eyes on the prize, the things that are in front of you, not the things behind you, and not the opinions of man. Y'all have a blessed one. I'll be back with another word.